Hello, hello, hello.
You didn't make it live, did you?
I just did. It's 5:31.
But why aren't you talking about it?
What's up, guys? Mark here. Bob is on his way in. He's getting some beverages. It's very hot in SoCal right now. It's about 102 degrees. Some of you may say otherwise. That it's actually just chill, especially if you live in the high deserts as well. So, with that being said, Bob will be in shortly.
Yep.
Looks dandy. Oh, there is Bob.
Hey, everybody.
Check out I did in the back of screen.
No, well played. I'm glad it's not the Imperial flag. All right, so there's a lot of cool stuff going on here at GI. Currently, we actually just released another set of game tickets for BB Wars Battlefront Flashpoint, which is going to be in Texas. This is kicking off an overall Imperial offensive that's heading on from California to Texas, and we will be announcing something in Northern California and Virginia very soon. So if you guys want to go to a BB Wars event in California and SoCal specifically, we've got BB Wars Episode 3 Counterattack coming up at the brand new Code Red Airsoft Park. Now, it hasn't been open to the public yet. However, we are going to have our game there, either if in case our grand opening doesn't happen on time, our event will still go on. However, when they do announce their grand opening, I would highly suggest going out there because it is going to be an amazing field. It's going to look like how they're describing it is the Disneyland of Airsoft, and from what I've seen, it looks pretty legit. That being said, let's go over some of our currently available promotions. If you want to get free shipping on orders over $80, use the coupon code AirsoftGI. Now, this is for domestic orders only. We also have global shipping. So if you live, outside the United States and are looking to get airsoft goods and products, quality made, U.S. made products, or other airsoft goods and accessories, you can get them on AirsoftGI just by clicking that global checkout button. Isn't that right, Mark?
That's right. It's a blue gold checkout button. There you can also calculate your shipping if you are curious to see how much it costs. And when you use that button, it doesn't necessarily lead to complete checkout, so it allows easy access. Like, oh, how much is this going to ship? How much it's going to cost? Very easy, very accessible on the website.
It's very nice to be able to see like any duties, taxes, or fees before they get to your border. So it's really nice that our global checkout system does that for you, so you can know ahead of time. Like we're not trying to like scam you or anything, but it's good to know basically any extra fees you're going to have to pay just to get it imported. So it's good to do that up front, and I'm really happy working for a company that does do that. So let's see. Oh, yes, we have our swap meet coming up on September 19th, correct?
That is correct.
Excellent work, Mark. Now, it's going to be a really cool swap meet. It'll give you guys, our customers, viewers, and fans a chance to buy, sell, and trade your own airsoft products at our West Coast walk-in store in Walnut, California. Now, we've been getting requests to do these at the rest of our locations. We're going to consider that and plan for the future, but for now, our swap meet is going to be going on. It's called the Airsoft GI Gun Exchange, again, at our West Coast walk-in store in Walnut, California, on September 19th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
However, the store will still be open till 7 p.m. So if you need any more guns, gear, accessories, or meet some of our staff, check out the newly renovated store, and stay where there's actually air conditioning too. So
yeah, no, we've made the store much more accessible and easy to use, and a lot more comfortable regarding air conditioning.
Yes.
But in addition to that, we're going to have 25% off all items in store, excluding map items, and we're also going to have a boneyard available for sale. Now, Mark, you've got a lot of experience with our boneyard. Why don't you tell our viewers what that's like?
All right, so Bob, for our boneyard, if you need certain items that are just going to be like a stock or something you can't find, stock parts or anything that you can't normally buy separately from the manufacturer of your airsoft gun, you can try to find it at our boneyard sale, and it can be really, really cheap. Whether it's a body, some body pins, some front rail systems, handguards, front assemblies, bodies, anything that you need. Say you have a cracked upper and lower receiver that there's no aftermarket part available, you can get it at the boneyard if it's available there. Other than that, if you're running like a unique part that it's also proprietary internal components, and you see that gun that's there, it's like, hey, my gun's broken, that's there. You can go pick it up at our boneyard sale as well.
I would like to answer some statement. Oh, shoot, I can't. I think it's.
My name is spelled with a Q, not a K.
Nico go all go. I
go all. Go.
That is the
Okay.
toughest internet handle to pronounce I've seen in a while. So anyway, well played on that. Batty, Walnut, California. The Bay Area is where it's at. I think there's a misconception. Walnut Creek is in the Bay Area. Walnut, California is in Southern California. So just that's actually a common misconception that I had before I started working here too, because I've been to both towns. Walnut, California is in SoCal. Let's see. Someone said something that I wanted to respond to. Dang it. Mark! Exclamation. Oh, yes. Brady Kotkowitz. Do you guys go to the SS Airsoft anniversary? I had originally wanted to head out to that. However, I had to be with my family at the exact same weekend that they were having it. I actually called the SS Airsoft folks personally to say, I'm sorry, I wish you could be there. Yeah, you know, I heard it was a great event. Right, Mark?
It's great. Shall I Instagram that we are live?
You may do that as I go over more promotions. Okay, so first of all, the Elite Force 1911 TAC Limited Edition is currently available for pre-order on Airsoft GI. Now, just to be clear, it does not come with this barrel extension, does not come with this this flashlight. However, there are a lot of cool features on here in addition to the regular 1911 TAC that you might see. Obviously, you know, you have some cutouts in the slide right here. My favorite, even though for some of you it might not be as important, I really like this weathered look. It gives it a much more unique, almost like, and some people may hate this, but Call of Duty Black Ops style look. It just looks like it's been through some stuff, and it shows. So I think it's a great look. You definitely get the cool Elite Force 1911 TAC Limited edition on there. And they're available for pre-order on our website.
1, 2, 3.
That was a photo. These are available for pre-order on our website for $144.95. So if you want an extra cool-looking 1911 TAC, this is your opportunity. Again, limited edition, and I believe these are 1 of 1,000.
Yes.
So.
In addition to that, if you want the carbon fiber barrel extension, it will soon be available again on airsoftgi.com. The Surefire is not included, as Bob mentioned, but you can be supportive to Surefire because they have an amazing warranty as well. Purchase it on surefire.com. If you guys from Surefire are watching that, that's a hint.
Trent Valentine, your shout out is approved, and we're very sorry to hear that. Our thoughts and prayers are with you, and I will actually throw that prayer right after we get off the show. But I'm very sorry to hear that, Trent Valentine. And again, your shout out is approved. I'm sorry. Oh, that's right. Someone asked what the barrel extension was on that.
It's from Ireland.
Oh, Ireland! Shout out to Ireland. Hey, good to see you guys here. Well, one of you. Let's see. In addition, we've got some other cool products available on our website. The KWA Makarov is available for pre-order for $139.99. So if any of you guys are looking for Russian-style loadouts or Soviet-style loadouts, or actually there are a number of countries that use the Makarov. So if you're looking for any North Korean loadouts or Vietnamese loadouts, that's an option. Also, we have Strike Industries polymer rail covers for M-Lock rails, which are pretty cool. Oh, you got them. Nice. So these are pretty neat. I mean, it's a good... oh, shoot, that's hard. I'll just have to take them out, yeah. It gives you some extra...
So there are 2 designs. We already have the black one on the website. 10 ones have just arrived. So there are 2 designs. I can't see my screen. You can...
You're on. Okay.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I was like, I can't see.
So there's 2 versions. I don't know. I can't remember which one's which. I think this is the version 1, and this is the version 2. So as you can see, there's different texturization on these. I think it's really cool we're carrying more M-Lock accessories because I honestly prefer that rail over the key mop. That's just a personal preference. You know, I'm sure a lot of folks out there would have differences of opinion. Zane Case. Bob, you guys picked the best patch in the last video. Bob the X-Man Epic Panda patch. Thank you, Zane Case. Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do like that patch. And I believe Mark does too, right, Mark?
I do have them. I do love that patch.
Good talk. Good talk.
These come in packs of 5s as well, in black and tan, version 1, version 2. And speaking of M-Lock, if we're going to jump into anything, and it comes with a free target on the back.
I was just going to say, that's kind of neat. I like that.
It's reflecting.
That's...
There you go.
Yeah, all right. Mission accomplished.
Bumping on to new M-Lock stuff, before Bob continues, is we got this new thing from Strike Industries, is M-Lock/Keymod rail segment, all in one.
Whoa.
All in one, inclusive, I should say.
How do they do that?
So let me get the Allen key here, and then we go ahead and unscrew it.
That's crazy.
It is made of CNC out of aluminum. That's
really smart.
So basically, if you have a Keymod and M-Lock system, I'm gonna remove the. It's very hard to show on camera, but there's still the The
Cam.
edge, the cam, and then there's also the edge for catching on to the key mod as well as M-lock shape. So pretty cool.
You know how much those are available for?
They are available for, I can't remember, it's on the website. They are available for $22.95. So pretty cool. Hopefully more sizes are available. Actually, for $22.95, that's not a bad price, considering you get highly constructed material, and the edges are not sharp and they're beveled. They're made nicely, and the fact that it's so modular, you can use it onto Keymod and M-lock. You're not restricted to one system. So that's pretty cool. Strike Industries do that.
Now we are going to be be going over some more info about the BD Wars events upcoming very soon. However, I have a question I want to get Mark's opinion on from
Sure.
Henry Lentine. What do you guys think is better, putting hundreds of dollars into upgrading one gun or buying a new gun/guns?
You want my opinion first? Or you're gonna give it
Yours first.
Okay. So, as someone who's more enticing to working on mechanical objects, I do take spending hundreds of dollars and working on a cheap gun and making it better to my own specifications. Like, for example, if you guys are into cars, I know Bob's not.
Nope.
If you had the money to buy such a more expensive car or a brand new car, some people would. But in my opinion, it was not worth it to buy a new car. I prefer to buy a much more older car or used car or maybe a CPO, and then work on it from there. CPO, certified pre-owned. Some of you don't know that because some of you probably don't drive yet. But that's what it is. I like.
It's embarrassing, Mark. I didn't even know. God.
Oh no, sorry, I didn't think of it that far.
Go ahead.
But yeah, I just like working on things and making it to my own specifications, how I like it, and that's what makes things. That's how I see mechanical objects, not just a tool to use on the field. But for others with a more simple and more different lifestyle, Bob, who's also a great actor, is always busy, so he doesn't have time to do mechanical things. So a good, reliable car, maybe a new car, is going to be more beneficial for Bob.
I would agree with that last statement that Mark said. I do prefer guns that perform great out of the box, but that doesn't mean I don't upgrade my guns. I've upgraded quite a few of them. I personally, I would want to put myself in a position where I have a primary gun that I feel is very reliable, and then I have a backup gun that is rather reliable. However, if I had to choose between a somewhat affordable primary and a very affordable secondary, as opposed to a primary that has a lot of work done to it, I would probably go with a primary that has a fair amount of work done with it, because I would like it to be right at where I want to function, and making the gun extra reliable is going to be par for the course for what I want to do anyway. So if I could afford it, I would get one gun that has a lot of work done to it that's very reliable and functions well, and then a basic secondary just in case, because if my main gun goes down, I'm going to be just one to play anyway. So.
What's your favorite secondary pistol, or what do you use?
My favorite current secondary has to be the KWA HK45, because it's essentially a primary gun in pistol form, because the magazine holds like 28 rounds. It's ridiculous. So
that's 28 people you can kill.
That is in Airsoft.
Airsoft. Sorry,
another part of it I like is the grip on that pistol is so contoured. It just feels like an extension of my arm, which is a very comfortable feeling, and it's very easy to get accurate snapshots. But that being said, I also use my Elite Force 1911 TAC at fields that have 400 feet per second limits, because it's a fun gun.
Of course, yeah.
We got a lot of kick. Let's see. There was.
Did you kick ass name that?
Leaf. Okay. Let me just go over some of this other stuff. We already went over the Strike Industry polymer rail covers. HexMag products are now on our website for Airsoft. We've got some HexMag mid caps by, I believe, Dytac. They're $14.99. They're really solid mid caps, and they're actually customizable, which is really cool. It's a 120 round mid cap. You've had the opportunity to use them, right?
Oh yeah, of course. I ran them at Tac City one day, and they actually feed amazing on like my builds. So.
And that's why I wanted you to put in your comment, because whenever we get mid caps that we're told feed really well, we send them right to Mark, because all of his guns shoot really fast.
That's the test.
Yeah. So if they feed with Mark's gun, that means they're going to feed with a high rate of fire gun. So it's really cool. We've got a lot of other accessories that you can use to customize the mags. What's that button on the bottom of the base plate?
Okay, so that is just an indicator. For example, for real fire magazines, it tells you what type of round is in, whether, because obviously there's different grains and there's different types of just different types of ammunition that you can put depending on your type of shooting. So it's a good indication. But for airsoft, it's also good for indicating your magazines as well as your friends' magazines if you're all running X magazine. The follower color can be changed, and also comes with extra followers in case you happen to lose one or it shoots out. So that's a common thing with mid caps. There's also modifications you can do it, like super gluing it, but it does come with addition if you do lose it.
Ugh, okay. All right, back up. Also, in addition to that, if you guys like theming your gun for a specific color, like pink, which is a power color, don't get me wrong, guys, it's a power color. If you guys want a gun that's all in pink, or have pink accessories, or any other color that we have for the HexMag stuff, you can do that with the accessories for the HexMag, which is pretty cool. You would agree, pink's a power color, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Hell yeah. Now, we also have Knight's Armament polymer SR16s. We have them in both carbine and CQB length. I believe this is carbine length. And what's really cool is these are a very affordable SR16 style that also includes an M-LOK rail. Or excuse me, oh, wow. Key-mod rail. Heresies. Yes, I know. Thank you. Now, for the CQB or the short version, it's $199.95. For the carbine length, I believe it's $214.95. Again, these are licensed by Knight's Armament, which is pretty darn cool, especially if you like trades. Yeah. This is not what comes with it. Did you set this up, Mark?
I did set this up. Before I continue, though, this is licensed. Oh, God, the camera. It is licensed by Knight's Armament in collaboration with Echo One and Jack Precision. It's pretty cool. Bob did mention licensed trademarks, polymer, and upper-lower receiver. But one thing I do like how Echo One does this, I know, Brian, you're watching this, I believe, is if Bob, you back up the gun just a tad bit. If you see here, I have a Echo One barrel extension. And the best part is their flash hides come stock. Allows you to easily use these barrel extensions. Usually these come with a separate metal flash hider. But with that, if you have this flash hider with the same barrel extension on multiple guns, it's very easy to transition, especially if you're gonna run a longer inner barrel, or you just want a cool, badass look. So pretty cool, easy installation, quick detach. It does feature Airsoft spec key mod rail segments 1, 2, and 3. The PTS 40 stubby or short vertical grip, it's like angled grip. Is not included, but soon available on airsoftgi.com. The Night Evolution flashlight, as you can see there, as well as the Mantis pressure pad are already available.
I personally love the Mantis pressure pad. Essentially, it's a really good gripping point, but you also slide in your pressure pad underneath that. It makes it very usable and functional.
And the pressure pad doesn't slip out. You don't have to use like double-sided tape or like zip ties or anything. It's very, very secure. In addition to that, it's very low profile. It doesn't snag. And the fact that if you have the pressure switch thing, if you want to tilt the pressure switch over, you can see there is a surface area right here because that allows you for easier access to the button itself.
Also, nice thing about those Mantis pressure pads is the fact that they're actually designed for use on real firearms. And in fact, a lot of these units are given out with I believe the M27 IER in the Marine Corps standard issue. So a pretty cool piece of equipment there.
Very strong construction. Very strong construction. It's weather resistant to multiple types. The fact that it doesn't melt under high temperatures. So that when you're constantly shooting your firearm, especially if you're on the field, if you have a reason to shoot that much, you must be one hell of a firefighter. You're that badass. So that means kudos to all our law enforcement and military out there. But those stuff is pretty damn cool. EOTech is obviously not included, but you can purchase it from EOTech directly.
Also, in addition, someone was asking earlier, why would you take advantage of our boneyard sale, or why would you head to our boneyard? And there's actually a very specific and good reason. In that, there are a lot of products, or at least accessories, rails, a lot of stuff that makes it into our boneyard that isn't really damaged. It's stuff that's like, taken off other guns to Frankenstein together specific custom guns that our techs put in the boneyard. A lot of times there's, maybe something small wrong with it or nothing at all. And the example that I commonly dredge up for a reason to check out the boneyard is at one of our last boneyard sales, there was a father and son combo that went into the boneyard and pulled out an M249 saw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
what was wrong with it?
A busted fuse. That was it. So they got a saw for like $80, $100, and all they had to do is.
And the retail was like what, $320, $340?
$300, and they had to just go buy. Was it $5 fuse?
Yeah,
how much fuses?
Fuses, you get like a pack of 5 for like $7.
Okay, so even like $250. So it's ridiculous. You can luck out like that. I'm not going to guarantee you're going to like find another one of those, but I saw that happen with my own eyes, and I was happy for them and a little jealous for myself.
Yeah.
because I wanted that. So check it out. Make it out to our swap meet. Even if you guys don't have anything you want to buy, sell, or trade, take advantage of the boneyard sale. Take advantage of the discount, and come see our newly renovated store.
Speaking of the swap meet, I don't mean to interrupt you, but it's part of the thing. If you would like to if you'd like to have a booth there, please come to the walk-in store in Walla, California, 21077 Commerce Point Drive, and register for your spot. See if there's more spots available. Additionally, Spartan 117 GW, aka Greg Wong from PTS Syndicate, will be there in his newly painted jeepney. If you're from the Philippines.
Well, it's not a jeepney. It's a Jurassic
Jeep.
Park motor pool Jeep.
Yes,
it's not just any Jeep.
It's not just any Jeep. He just
Don't
recently jeepney. It's recently painted on his own. No one else painted. He recently took the time to sand off all the paint and put it together. So pretty cool. It's gonna bring his load out there as well. If you want to meet him, come talk to him, say hi, whatever. Take photos, get his autograph. Yeah, be at the summer sale, and there's a lot of discounts and cool guns and accessories and stuff.
Well, it's not a summer sale. It's the swap meet. So Team McTrout, Bob, would a gun from the boneyard be a good way to get into tech work on guns?
Absolutely.
That's on the table too much.
I forgot.
Yeah, the audio goes crazy. That's actually an excellent way to tech on guns. A lot of times we tell people to get a really affordable gun just to get something under your belt to tech on. However, the boneyard is a great way to do that. Pull these guns apart, see how they work, see what you can do to fix them to get them functional again.
Yes.
Let's see.
I'll tell you this though, if boneyard is available when I start working on guns, I would have saved myself like $300. I took apart a gun that Frank worked on, and because I wanted to know what made it tick, and the gun was running perfectly fine. I totally destroyed it.
Yeah,
I brought it back.
If Frank worked on a gun, you don't take it apart. You just go to town.
Yeah, I didn't know Frank back in the day, so I was like, oh, okay, cool. I was like,
Alex Desjardins, please forgive me if I said your name incorrectly. I'm looking to buy my brother an M4 rifle under $190. What would you guys recommend? Hi from Green Bay. Shout out, please. Shout out is approved. And hi from Green Bay. Now I have my own personal suggestions. I'm sure Mark does have his too. Our G4 line, you get a lot of different options under your price point for $190. Most of our G4s come with rails pre-set up on them, and since there's a wide variety, that's really nice. There's also, depending on where you play, the KWA CQR is a really good option. However, it's designed to function in CQB fields, so it shoots under that 350 feet per second mark. So if you play at CQB fields, the KWA CQR is a great option for you. And for just a little bit more, you can take advantage of our CQR and shotgun packages, which again is a great option for CQB.
For $210,
yeah,
you get a shotgun and an AEG.
And it's essentially a KWA CQR. Well, not even essentially, that's what it is. That's what it is. And I love tri-burst shotguns. They're awesome. So those are my choices: the KWA CQR, the CQR combo, the shotgun, and a G4. Do you have any suggestions?
Other than those, I do also like to include the Echo One. Still has some of their guns around that price range as well.
It's also the combat machines.
Oh yeah, the combat machines too.
By G&G, yeah.
G. Echo Ones for sure. Who else?
Lance Tactical MMC, that's a good one.
MMC is definitely because they are OEM by Lonex. If you're not familiar with that. The Lonex is known for bringing high-quality aftermarket components, but they're readily accessible in a ready-built lightweight gun. Speaking of the Lancer Tactical MMC, though, I did bring in the new Lancer Tactical Recoil M4, if Bob wants to grab it right there.
Oh, yeah.
Without knocking your drink off.
Yeah, right.
So recently they gave us a sample.
You're not firing this,
I'm not going to fire it because it's going to pop on your guys' ears. I'm not wanting to strike eardrums. But it does. It looks similar to the MMC, but the recoil system. Oh, you can't really shoot this one. But it is the buffer tube, and the recoil goes straight to here, the spring and buffer, and it does actually kick pretty hard.
I'm gonna.
It's a hot day, guys.
I'm gonna agree with Mark on this one. This actually has a shocking amount of kick, and I like. The KWA ERG because it has a lot of kick. And I would say that this is very competitive with the amount of kick that you're going to get on an airsoft gun, vastly more than just a basic electric blowback. So I think this is a really good addition to the market. And I would highly suggest checking this gun out, especially for purchase, because I just love guns that have feedback on them, and it's a very affordable airsoft gun.
We will have two versions, the polymer and possibly the full metal line in the future, and the polymer is actually pretty dang light. Well, hence polymer upper and lower and polymer front end.
Someone's asking, what side is that?
This is a Trijicon. they call it ACOG. Okay, some of you may think ACOG as the more common one. This also is called an ACOG. Trijicon Reflex 1x24 sight. It is the real deal. Why? Because I happen to have one on my desk. Because this company is so awesome. They're gracious enough to let me lend it to me for this amazing gun.
The almighty potato. Hey, I use a rubber chicken for a knife. Any thoughts? Yes, I have a few. One, you're awesome. Two, that will be totally allowed at BB Wars events. If you come to our events, bring a rubber chicken. I will totally allow its use as a knife, and it's also funny. Also, very good use as a distraction device, because I'm sure if that just plopped out in the middle of a firefight or someone threw it, there'd be a couple people to stop and be like, was that a rubber chicken? Was that? I'm pretty sure. What happened? What?
You dead.
Yeah, yeah. So, totally. I think that's awesome. Your thoughts, Mark?
I would just laugh. If I get hit with that, I would laugh. But if I got hit with that, I would just be disgraced to myself and like, why didn't I see that? I saw it coming. I should have shot it.
Prick hitty card. Hashtag mind blown. Nice. And the Emin from the Philippines is back. Hey, the Emin, what's going on? It's good to see you here again. Mark's Filipino, by the way, in case you didn't know.
Jeepney.
Stop it. Oh, man. Bob, what are your thoughts on the KWA MP7? I'm going to have you answer that as well, Mark, since you were present and accounted for. I really like the gun, especially for the fact that, you know, it's got some history being used by the Navy SEALs. Not the KWA version, but the real firearm. I personally own one, and I like using it a lot. I've had a lot of fun with it. If I had to pick between the MP7 and the MP9, I'd go with the MP9 because it's more affordable. And it's in Counter-Strike, which is a big plus for me.
And it's really loud.
And it's very loud. And another thing in the MP9's favor is that it's balanced very well around the pistol grip, which makes it very easy for me to use it single-handedly with my axe in the other hand. So,
did you want me to answer that?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not too familiar with the real firearms as to what divisions use it, but I do like the rate of fire of it as well as the option to swap out the bolts very easy, and the fact that it's also on Battlefield 4.
Good recovery. What are your thoughts on the Crytek CRB? I like it. I personally have a KWA, I have a bunch of KWA guns, but I also have a Crytek SPR that I really like. Now, I chose the SPR because it's got obviously more length than the CRB. Now, I use it mainly for outdoor operations, and I took it to American Milsim's Copperhead, which definitely was good to have the SPR version. However, I would love to have both. I'd love to have the CRB. I have the SPR. I'd love to have their LMG Enhanced, the Crytek LMG Enhanced. That is an amazing looking LMG. Again, I really want one. What are your thoughts on the Crytek CRB?
I used it a couple times at Tac City. Why? Because I'm more of a fast-paced airsoft player, Tac City or SC. I do the fact that out of the box I can use heavier weight beams and it's still pretty damn accurate. The way they're bucking and hop-up, rotary hop-ups design, the engineering behind it, innovation behind it is actually pretty good. So, and it's pretty affordable with such a gun like that, especially the internals. Whenever I look to buy an airsoft gun, I look at the internals first, not figuratively. Obviously, I do my research first, and that's how I depict how the gun is stock and then how it's gonna last. So that's what got my attention.
We've got a serious question. I hope it's serious. That is not related at all to airsoft, and I'm going to ask both of us to answer it. From Caesar Ochoa, Bob, what is love? Now, I'm going to try and answer this really quickly, and it might not even cover it. I once heard a definition that love is putting someone else's needs ahead of your wants. Now, I don't think that fully encapsulates it, but that's all I'm going to go for. What about you, Mark?
I would agree with that, and I also agree with this. Baby, don't hurt me no more.
All right, seriously,
That's
go.
it.
Go. There's not even a door there. Just go out the cement wall. Yeah.
Like freaking Hulk. Before we jump into more questions, I'd like to implement this as well.
Implement it.
We've gotten the new Noveski N4 Gen 3. Before I was going to say Gen 4. Metal bodies in, and let me open it for you guys. I am a fan of building guns from the bottom up, and
Go ahead. Alec Cabrera, I'm sorry. I saw Cesar Ochoa's question first. I'm sure you asked it beforehand. But anyway, what about the body?
So we just got the Zeeks from Jack Precision, or Mad Bull. It's pretty cool. Last trademark, notice how the trigger guard is enlarged and built into the lower receiver. And the upper receiver is actually a different, unique shape.
Well, it's got an enlarged trigger guard and an enlarged magazine well.
Yes, and magazine, a flared magazine.
Ooh, that's nice.
So it allows for easier, what do you call it? easier reloading, and the fact that easier transition between magazines into your gun as well. So create license trademarks there, and then there. So pretty cool. It does come with necessity body pins, trigger, no trigger, body pins, magazine catches, and all the knickknacks you may need to get this up and running. This is available in black and tan on airsoftgi.com, and it's readily acceptable of other aftermarket rail systems. So thread pitches will match. So pretty cool.
ETV, your shout out is approved, and long live the rebels.
Imagine you say, shout out, denied.
No, that'd be rude. So rude.
I want one of these metal bodies. They look pretty cool.
Bob, thoughts on the TM USAS? Now, from what I remember, I was under the impression Tokyo Marui was coming out with the AA12. I've heard a lot of people say they wish they were also coming out with USAS in addition to that. However, I haven't heard any info on Tokyo Marui coming out with both. So all I know is that they're coming out with the AA12. I'm personally super excited about that. If you guys have any Alec Cabrera, thank you. That's very generous of you. Very generous. Thank you. Anywho, Blue X, hi from Spain. I'm getting an airsoft, and I would like to know if I need any license to get an airsoft gun. You guys rock. Thank you, Blue X. Well, if you actually want to know whether or not you can get some of our airsoft products, including airsoft guns, into Spain, you can actually just put all the stuff you want into your cart, and if it's not legal for us to directly ship it to you, when you try to check out, it'll actually, our website will ask you to take it out of the cart. Now, that's just an easier way than having to go through all the different laws or any regulations that you have, because, I mean, I've done that before. Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult, but let's see what we got here on our website.
For Spain, lasers, night vision is not permitted, so airsoft guns should be okay. But for those of you that are not located in the United States, if you scroll onto if you go on the main page on our website, scroll all the way down to the very bottom, you'll see a bunch of bullet points. Click on the shippings tab, and you'll be able to see what's allowed and what's not allowed in your country or area.
Okay, now for those of you that have stayed with us this long on our live show, I feel like I'm going to drop some extra intel on you. We've got our BB Wars Episode 3 Counterattack coming up here in SoCal at Code Red Airsoft Park. However, we've been receiving scattered reports through ham radio as well as some defectors from Imperial units. There's something going horribly wrong at the research facility that Rebel troops had just infiltrated and almost destroyed. We're getting scattered reports of bodies not being dead, of walking up or walking around after being shot multiple times. However, we have heard reports that shots to the head do seem to put these experimental bodies down. So be prepared. We may have to, I guess, start an offensive somewhere in the Northern California region around Antioch. So there could be something coming up there for both Rebel and Imperial troops. So stay on guard for that.
I think it's time to tune up some guns and cars for this mission.
That was almost cool. I had no idea what you were going with, but you raised eyebrow, definitely sold it. Well, that's interesting to read. Okay, so in addition to that, there are reports of a large offensive, a large gathering of Imperial troops on the East Coast around the Virginia region, or I guess in the region surrounding the state of Virginia. So, troops on the East Coast, Rebel troops, Imperial troops, don't worry about this as much, but Rebel troops, seriously, get your stuff together because there's something big happening there. We think the Imperials are gearing up for something huge. So, any Rebel troopers on the East Coast, gear up as much as you can. Imperial troopers, just throw away your guns. You don't need them. Don't worry about it.
I'm coming for you, Ed.
Quite.
50 rounds gun for you.
So we've got stuff going on in Southern California, in Texas with BB Wars Battlefront Flashpoint. Tickets for that are currently available on our website. And BB Wars Episode 3 Counterattack, sponsored by Classic Army, where you're going to be able to see a lot of their cool new products. That's going to happen in SoCal, and then possibly an op in Northern California, and then an op in Virginia, soon to be released. That being said, Bob, sentimental shout out for my dog. Milsim Twist, your shout out is totally approved. Let's see. Shout out to Chicago from DOA 100. Chicago, your shout out is totally approved.
Chicago. You know that movie?
Yeah. Okay, that's all you got. I was gonna go with Chicago deep dish pizza rules.
That's cool.
God, it's so good.
Good.
I cannot believe how good it is. I had to go out there to Yeah. Let's see. Gosh, Geno's East was so good. I'm blanking on some of the two other ones I had, but God, Geno's East is so good. Lou Malnati's, that was pretty good. Geno's East was really good. Anyway, getting off topic. So,
Someone asked, can we ship to Australia? We can ship certain items to Australia, but we cannot ship airsoft guns to Australia because it is illegal in your country.
a Fluffy Dread, I appreciate all the nice things you just said. I really do appreciate it. Yes, it's unfortunate that it is not legal in Australia. However, I believe it is legal in New Zealand. We've been actually seeing a lot of cool videos of airsoft coming out from there, including guys from BL Tech, which has some really cool products. Bob, come to Denmark and play airsoft one time, from Christian Bach. I would love to do that. Hopefully, I will someday get the chance to do that, because part of my heritage is, well, excuse me, part of my family came from Denmark before they came over to the United States. So it's pretty cool.
Maybe Bob, you can hook us up with that ride to Denmark.
Yeah, maybe I can. I'm starting to get into airsoft. This is from Andrew Townsend, and I was wondering on what your input is on the best AEG around $200. We actually answered something similar to this question earlier, so we'll just reiterate it. I would highly suggest checking out our G4 line of airsoft guns, because you're gonna have a lot of options for guns that have, that are pre-set up with rails on it. Our techs put them on for you, which means it's gonna be working great right out of the box. Also, there's the Cageway CQR, which is a great gun, especially if you're going to play CQB, because that's exactly what it's designed for. In addition, there's G&G Combat Machines, a Lancer Tactical MMC, which we just had out on here. Is a very affordable gun and is great for the price point. What were some of the other guns we mentioned? Echo 1.
Echo 1, this Elite Force pistol. If you want this as your primary, I would.
Oh, you'd want a couple extra mags if you're going to run
Oh,
that
yeah, definitely
primary.
extra mags. I would just run this as my primary with a couple extra mags, CO2 cartridges, and just 5,000 rounds in my backpack.
You think you can go through 5,000 rounds with a pistol?
No, it just evens at the weight.
Oh. Okay, well, I'm glad you had an answer ready for that, because on its face, that was an absurd statement.
No, Bob, this thing shoots.
Stephen C., what are you done with? Let's see. GI, when is the next mystery box? Shout out from New York. Stephen C., your shout out is approved. When is the next mystery box? Isn't our patch package box sold out? It's gone.
Another one will be available when I make another one.
Okay, so no current ETA. However, they do come up randomly. So keep checking our website, airsoftgi.com. And also, if you haven't signed up for our newsletter, that's also another really great way to get news about stuff coming out from Airsoft GI as soon as it happens.
Speaking of giveaways and other shenanigans, on Facebook, if you guys follow us on Facebook, every once in a while, or once in blue moon, not really blue moon, we will have Facebook giveaways. We'll be giving away random, like, either guns, gear, and accessories. So just keep your eyes peeled, and you can be randomly picked to win one.
Well played. James Matthew Thomas, Bob, is Airsoft GI going to come to Canada, in all caps? We actually currently ship to Canada. That was the first international shipping option we had. We wanted to go to the Great White North first, because you're some great neighbors, and we wanted to make sure we got you guys covered. Hopefully we'll be able to hold an event in Canada sometime in the near future. We don't currently have plans to open up a store there, but we wanted to at least make sure we could sell to you guys, so that was our first option we took care of for international shipping.
Someone wants to whoop your butt.
Bob, can you come to Texas and play a game in Houston? I can meet you and maybe give you a butt whooping. I have no doubt that if I came to Airsoft again in Texas, again, I would get shot righteously. I'm never going to say I'm the best Airsofter out there. I've been playing for longer, but I get shot every time I go play. It's just a matter of dying well. So I would love to come play Airsoft in Texas again. I'd love to come play in Houston. It's been a long time since I came to visit Houston. It's an awesome city. And Texas has amazing barbecue. They do brisket better than anyone else. Greetings from Switzerland. Hi, Switzerland. Hey, that's from Comedy Short Films. JP Watkins shout out is approved. All right, we're getting to the tail end of the live show. Shout out from Illinois from Brady Pearson. Your shout out is approved. Will there be a BB Wars outside of California, Virginia, Texas? Yes. And can I tell you when? No, I cannot. It's actually currently classified. However, as soon as I can, I will. Right, Mark? Good talk. All right, shout out from Sacramento. We love you. The Soccer Dudes, your shout out is approved. Let's see here if we have any more questions we can answer. Let's see. Wow, that's a tough one. Wow, and the comments going fast. Bonjour from the UK. It's interesting you use a French word to say you're from the UK, but hi, how's it going? It's good to see you here. Um, what?
Someone asked me, Milsom Twist, what was my latest build? I haven't really built a gun.
You're killing me.
recently.
Well,
Actually, I
give me
have.
your last build.
The last build that I have is another G&G Scarlight. It's Tim's old black Mark 16, and it's going through a testing phase to see what's the highest rate of fire I can build while maintaining on 400 on the dot. I mean, you guys seen my tan Scarlight, and I just want to beat that. But the gun's gonna be so short, CQC length, and it'll be available for Rebel training, and be on Bob's side for that.
Yeah,
Case.
and I'm back up. Yeah, I'm glad Mark's on my side because the last time he actually came out of Texas to play Airsoft with us, and his gun has such a high rate of fire that when he fired, people on his own team took cover. No BS. Literally, the people left and the right scattered and got down. They're like, Jesus Christ!
apparently, no one in Texas realized I had that thing, and they thought it was a Polar Star. But the way I had it set up was to decrease decibel output, so it's actually really quiet. And they were like, "What the heck?"
Sounds like an MG42.
They were looking for a machine gunner out there, and it was
just you with the scar.
Just me
Yeah.
with the scar.
Phoenix Teddy Airsoft, your shout out is totally approved. Daylon Douglas, your shout out is approved, as well as Ben Bauer's shout out, which is likewise approved to South Jersey. Cameron Blake's shout out from Washington State is approved. All right.
Coolest gun in Airsoft that you have used or will be using? I think a rocket launcher. That was pretty cool.
I've never personally used a rocket launcher. Did you?
No, one of the. I was standing right next to one. I'm not sure if Team Therapist had it or someone, but it was like, it fired some object, a bigger object, like a rocket. Oh no, could have been Paul Kim.
So you didn't actually use it?
No.
Doesn't count.
Fine, doesn't count. Sorry guys, I can't tell you the story now.
No, but you can. What was the
One
coolest
of
gun
our,
you used?
the coolest gun. I think the one thing I did like was the PDRC. I'm not gonna lie, it was
fun
very
gun.
compact.
That was a really
it
fun
was
gun.
Very compact to use.
Hands down for me, it's going to go with the KWA LM4. I love using that gun. It's just, it feels so righteous to use it. So
Yes.
it's the coolest gun I've used.
Where is Tim? Tim is in SoCal.
Excellent yet vague answer, Mark.
Not wrong.
TAC Airsoft, shout out from Idaho. Your shout out is approved. Wow, the comments going crazy.
What is your favorite pistol?
No, that's Fav Rate.
Fav.
Okay, favorite pistol and why?
My favorite pistol would be the M&P actually, because once I'm old enough to buy my own real firearm, I love the way the M&P feels and the way that the higher tang grip for better weapon manipulation and recoil control. I just like the way the polymer lower and the metal slide. That'd be my favorite pistol. So obviously I'd have it accessorized to my own liking, maybe with an RDS or with a flashlight to balance out the weight, or whatever I choose, and I'm gonna do competition shooting or just train as if my life depended on it. So.
Again, I'm going to have to refer to my previous answer earlier in the show, which is the KWA HK45. It's got such a huge mag capacity. It's almost like having a primary for your secondary. It holds around 28 rounds in the magazine. In addition, the grip is contoured so that it feels like an extension of my arm, which makes snapshots or very quick shots very accurate.
Sorry, that was my fault.
Oh.
I accidentally pressed on.
Yeah. So that's my current favorite. If I had to pick an outdoor favorite or something with a higher FPS, I'll go with the Elite Force 1911 TAC. I love the kick on that gun. It's very snappy. I've had a lot of success with its accuracy. This is the limited edition weathered version, which is available for pre-order on our website. However, before we run out of time, we've got a question from Susan Lusty. Hey guys, I'm a beginning airsofter and I have $500 for an airsoft gun. I'm considering two guns, the Magpul PTS RM4 ERG and the Elite Force 4 CRS, which, yeah, what?
That's debatable between the two.
I know, and that's why I mentioned it, because that's like a really good question. I'm going to answer before you do, Mark.
Go ahead.
My personal, I think a lot of this comes down to personal preference, from my opinion. The PTS RM4 ERG is a great gun. I think what makes it stand out is the fact that it has a huge amount of recoil, which makes it a lot more fun to use. And it's very realistic in its function. However, the Elite Force 4 CRS is also like a very, very sturdy gun. It doesn't have the recoil, but if you are getting an airsoft, our techs have told us before that having the recoil in the gun in the long term means that it may require some extra tech work just to keep it functional. Now that's in the long term. So for me, regardless, I would probably choose the RM4 ERG just because I love the recoil so much fun. However, the Elite Force 4CRS is still a damn good gun. So those are both really great options. That's my opinion. What about you, Mark?
I would agree with you, Bob, as well on the fact that there's more moving parts, so there's going to be something more bound to break. But that's not always true. I would go with the Force CRS. Why? Because it is OEM by VFC, and as a one who understands internals, I would want to upgrade it and either shoot faster or have just quicker trigger spots. So that'd be my choice.
Casey Reese is getting the last shout out before our live show ends today. Casey Reese, your shout out is approved. Guys, thank you for staying with us this long. We really appreciate it, you guys being here for the live show. Make sure to stay tuned to all of our social media, our YouTube, our Instagram, our Twitter, and our Facebook, because we're dropping stuff constantly, especially our Facebook. We're giving away a lot of stuff pretty recently. So make sure to check it out. Once again, I'm Bob the Axeman Hildebrand, and this is
Mark.
excellent work from marketing. And this has been the GI TV live show. Bye-bye, guys.
Pop and drop like it's hot.
What? Bye. Bye.